While the Republican-led U.S. House has still not produced any evidence that President Biden committed high crimes or misdemeanors, the impeachment hearings have made one thing clear. House Republicans are a glutton for punishment. In the latest hearing from start to finish, Republicans got pummeled. Ranking Democrat Jamie Raskin of Maryland delivered some of the harshest blows as he urged the GOP to end their embarrassing Biden obsession.
With any luck, today marks the end of perhaps the most spectacular failure in the history of congressional investigations, the effort to find a high crime or misdemeanor committed by Joe Biden and then to impeach him for it. In prior hilarious episodes of this long-running madcap series, America got to see the following. 1, nearly 20 fact witnesses who could not identify a single act of wrongdoing by President Biden, much less a high crime and misdemeanor, and who overwhelmingly testified that Biden was not involved in any of his family's business adventures. 2, 3 expert witnesses called by the majority itself who said nothing that they had seen in the tens of thousands of pages of documents adduced by the majority even remotely approach the level of a high crime and misdemeanor.
If you look closely, you can see Republican Committee Chairman James Comer to Raskin's left trying to keep a straight face. Raskin listed some of the items that Comer's committee put forward during this investigation, and example after example, the items had nothing to do with Joe Biden, and whose only purpose, like the Hunter Biden X-rated photographs, was to smear the Biden family. Or the items exonerated President Biden.
Bank records would show exactly what all the witnesses told us, that Joe Biden was not involved in his family members' businesses. Repeated voyeuristic displays of pornographic images by the majority, completely irrelevant to any conceivable legislative or investigative purpose. A star witness, Gal Luft, who turned out to be a Chinese agent and an illegal arms trafficker on the run from American justice. And the key piece of evidence, which launched the entire zany goose chase, an FD 1023 form in which the FBI duly recorded a completely fictional tip about a $5 million bribe to Vice President Biden peddled by Alex Smirnoff, who has been criminally indicted by a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney, Special Counsel David Weiss, for felony counts of systematically lying to the FBI and constructing a false record about Joe Biden, and now sits in jail in California as a flight risk while the world studies his long-standing and extensive ties to Russian intelligence.
Russian intelligence. That's right. The key Republican evidence was fabricated in the Kremlin as part of Russian efforts to interfere with U.S. politics. But it gets even worse. Witnesses at the impeachment hearings testified that several Republican lawmakers and a host on Fox News, Sean Hannity, knew the allegations came from Russia and promoted it anyway. The GOP impeachment effort has been so absurd and damaging to Republicans that even a host on Newsmax, which is even more pro-Trump than Fox News, suggested House Republican Jim Jordan that the hearings should come to an end, not just because the evidence isn't there, but because Republicans don't have the votes.
Are you going to hold a vote on the House floor? I know it's up to Mike Johnson, but the margins, Congressman, you lost Kevin McCarthy. Ken Buck left last week. George Santos was ousted. Unless you get Democratic votes, this is going to be real tough. So it kind of seems like you're chasing your tail at this point because this is not going to go anywhere.
No, fair question. And we got a small majority. Everyone understands that, not just on this issue, but on a host of issues. Our job is, under the Constitution, is to do oversight of the executive branch. We are doing that. We're going to continue to do that. There's no time limit in the Constitution on how long you can do an investigation.
In other words, the GOP is going to be like that crazy rabid dog that keeps chasing cars. A lot of barking, a lot of running around, and possibly getting hit by oncoming traffic. Maybe that's what the election will do. Polls show most Americans see the GOP impeachment investigation as a waste of time. And every time the Republicans have one of these hearings, the only thing that emerges is how silly the hearings are and how many Republican lawmakers and media figures seem to be carrying water for Russia. Then again, that's the image of Donald Trump. So maybe we shouldn't be surprised. Thankfully, there are plenty of Democratic lawmakers who come to the hearings loaded for bear, and they always have a field day picking apart the GOP absurdities and proving that this Republican impeachment effort is a sham. By the way, Donald Trump keeps erupting at Ron DeSantis in the wake of the Florida governor ordering the release of sealed Jeffrey Epstein grand jury documents. Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.